spin-off from synthetic biology company Ginkgo Bioworks, Boston-based Verb Biotics was founded in 2021 with $30 million of funding and a mission to engineer more robust and resilient probiotics that can confer some very specific health benefits.
Yeah, so we're very function first, so we start with the end in mind. So what's the health indication that we're interested in? Then we try to understand what are the mechanisms of action to implicate that health condition, and then we develop biotic solutions in order to achieve that health indication, which is a bit different. Starting with the end in mind, the industry typically does a clinical study, they screen, they see maybe they have an impact in the clinical. We want to be very focused, very intentional in what we do. Today, as we said before, a lot of the probiotics claims are around digestive health and immunity. Well, as we understand more and more about the microbiome and its link to our health, then we can start looking at deploying innovation and science around gut-brain axis, stress, mood, sleep. We can think about metabolic health, whether it's satiety or weight loss, and there are other areas where we could bring innovation to the marketplace. And this is what consumers are looking for. They're looking for something more than just digestive health. They're looking at how can I sleep better? How can I feel less stress? How can I not feel as full?
Yeah.
Right? So these are really important areas. So it's two toolboxes. That's what really excites us. Is like we can talk about, okay, you can put it into a new beverage, but also we can have new claims. And again, all of our claims will be clinically substantiated. And it's really important that science is there. As we think about probiotics, that's our first tool. So our probiotics would basically be developed to deliver payloads in the right place in your gut at the right time. So you think about sleep and melatonin as an example. You want to have melatonin delivered at the right spot in your gut in the right amount for the right amount of time to help you sleep better. So as an example, that's how we think about how we develop these probiotics, that they're delivering a payload in the right spot at the right time. So that's tool number one. Tool number two could be a symbiotic, where basically we want to deliver a specific carbon source for the microbe to have it perform or do its job better, right? So prebiotics today are great, but they're more of a shotgun. We think about like a carbon source that could activate the microbe to produce a certain molecule. That we think that's a more smarter, more targeted way of doing symbiotics. Then we think about postbiotics, that's a big thing that's coming, but it can't just be a bunch of dead cells. That's great, but we want to be very intentional. We want to build, our postbiotics where they're delivering key metabolites, they're delivering key functions. It's just in a different format. And then finally, there's this thing we call biotransformation, and that's how do you get more out of your food? So again, as we think about how do we digest food better, whether it's broccoli or acai, right? We all have different microbiomes, and over time, our microbiomes have shifted. So somebody might get a benefit from acai, somebody may not. So as we think about biotransformation, we think about like our GM approach, we could maybe replace some of these genes that are missing to help absorb food better. So our first product coming out will be a postbiotic. Will be focused around providing key nutrients to keystone bacteria with the idea of producing important short-chain fatty acids. So that'll be a postbiotic that'll be launching in Q1 of 2024. So second product will be a probiotic, which will be focused on gut-brain axis health, which will be focused mainly around stress and mood. So we have a non-GM platform and we have a GM platform that we're working on. So if we think about we're looking for mechanisms of actions, we're looking for metabolites. So some of these metabolites occur naturally within microbes, right? So with Ginkgo being our partner, we have the ability to screen millions of strains in order to find the right microbe that delivers metabolites or delivers a molecule in the right amount that we're looking for. With GM, we use it where it makes sense. Our approach is we're only going to look at and use genes that are already in humans or have been in humans. If you think about it, as we've evolved, we've lost a lot of genes through just changes in our microbiome. So as we're thinking about GM and as we deploy GM in our toolbox, it's about taking those genes that were already in humans and then putting them into safe grass organisms. So the idea is that as our microbiomes have shifted over time, we could be able to replenish, some of those important genes to help us digest food better, to help us, stay healthier, to help us maybe live longer. So our policy on this, it has to be safe, we have to be transparent, and it has to have already been in human. We're looking at ways of how can we go to market faster. So it has to be clinically substantiated. We have to make sure it's safe. But how can we leverage clinicals and clinical studies to be faster, to be more efficient, to get to market faster? And we could do that by picking the right endpoints because we're mechanistically driven. And we can do that by basically understanding how do you power these clinicals the right way so that you have a meaningful outcome. without necessarily years in the process. We intend to sell into supplement, food and beverage category. Part of our business model is MOAs in our DNA, so it's all about function first, function forward. And then as we're in the consumer space, it's really important that consumers feel the effect, right? So we will provide products that are highly efficacious, clinically backed, and proven to work.